Previously, Brendan, Patrick, and the SummitClimb team make it from their Chinese base camp to Camp 1 atop of the North Col, finishing their acclimatization rounds. Welcome back to Everest for mountaineers.
Patrick is readying the GPS. Everyone's getting ready to roll. It's a gorgeous day. Supposedly they're up there fixing the ropes today. Just perfect. Tiny little bit of wind. Clear skies. We're about to head out to IBC, the intermediate base camp. And I don't know, 4 or 5 hours. Yeah.
I'm so psyched to get this going. It was just wearing on me sitting there in Chinese base camp forever. We weren't doing anything but eating, drinking, sleeping, reading, and playing cards. It's time to go.
We were all eagerly anticipating this final push. Over the last month, we had done 2 acclimatization rounds, reached 7,020 meters, and we had just spent 4 days down in Tingri resting up. Now, we pushed off one last time from CBC to get to the top of Everest.
Man, that is such a ridiculous view.
The sights were still breathtaking, the terrain familiar, the yak bells enchanting. We knew the pace we needed to conserve energy, keep our heart rates low, and SpO2 high.
We're just finishing the flat part past Lake District, Speedy Turtle, and Ramstein. Now we're headed to Turnip Hill. This is where you turn and go uphill.
Since we had arrived a month earlier, the lakes and rivers were melting, and we heard rock falls more often.
Still cruising up the East Rombach Glacier. Patrick put headphones on and just blasted out of here. He's taking a picture, and he's gone. I feel like this dry cough right in top of my lungs. I might have the gumbo cough. Keep it down. It's just irritation from the cold air and the dust, but it can really affect you up high if you're not careful. Tents ahoy! Up there. Interim camp. Feels really good. I feel like I know there's a couple big hills to go. But right now I feel great. Almost like coming downhill. I know. Crazy. Crazy mountains. Woo! Chilly breeze. Just over this ridge should be IBC. Yak poop camp. Yak soba noodle shop. Hey! Tashidule. Tea and noodles? Noodle soup. Yeah. The soup here at the Yak soba shop. So good. Yeah, it's like a ramen, but then he puts onions and green onions and
Some carrots. It's like magic. It's magic soup. How do you say magic soup?
Mushutang. Yeah, thank you.
Throughout the afternoon, other members of our team arrived. Before we knew it, it was dinner time.
This is our food at intermediate camp, and it is awesome.
Yeah, it's curry chicken, dal bhat with rice, some sort of potato croquettes, and baked beans.
It's really nice outside right now, too.
Patrick was updating his blog posts with our GPS location using his Garmin InReach. He could also send and receive text messages almost anywhere on the mountain. I did a couple rounds of my Wim Hof breathing before eventually falling asleep.
That's an odd angle. I had a rough night last night. I was sliding down, tense at an angle.
With care, Doche made our morning tea. That got us up and moving.
Just leaving IBC, up one steep hill. Just catch my breath already. Got some suntan lotion going on. I head to ABC.
600 vertical meters later, we'll be at ABC.
And I'm taking a nap. But look ahead. Now, if you haven't seen in the first or second rotation, coming out of IBC, there's a huge valley. You gotta go down, all the way back up. Good to get the heart going.
It wasn't as bright and sunny as it had been our last 2 times here, but with the pinnacles surrounding us and Everest summit waiting for us, it started out as an enjoyable hike. Most of the team was in step. We went through our motions. Although it was familiar by now, it is still one of the most incredible places that I have ever been, and I felt very fortunate to be there. After a quick lunch, we made our way through the melting glacier. Grant caught up, and Patrick and him sped off.
So after the lunch corner and Martin's Rock, you got this huge Miracle Highway. Oh, just keeps going though. I think it's, oh yeah, it's right around that corner. Nope. You got like 2 hours, buddy. Get used to walking, get comfy, and do it. I think I went a little too fast at the beginning. These last hills, killing me. Ugh. Patrick and Grant blasted up ahead. Oh. All right, stay positive. Step by step. Oh. Here we go. Oh man, just rolled into camp. Those last 2 hours are so brutal. Not fun at all. Oh. And yeah. But it was a good time actually. It's 1:13. We left at maybe 10. 3 hours? That's crazy. We made it. ABC. 3 hours, 15 minutes-ish. 9 kilometers. High as well. Now I'm just kind of sorting my stuff. Base camp. My heart rate's probably around 110. So I want to calm it down. So I'm going to do a round of Wim Hof. Let's see if that breath hold brings it down to where I want it. And also my SpO2 is at like 79. See if I can get that up.
By doing the breathing, I was able to increase my SpO2 from 79 to 87 and lower my heart rate from 104 to 65. That's impressive.
After my bad sleep last night, took a little nap and feel a lot better. Although I did just run into my tent to grab this camera. I'm quickly out of breath. But sun's coming out over there, but Everest is not. So supposedly on the 19th it's going to snow, but we're hoping that it's like most of the time where in the morning it's super sunny and in the afternoon it snows. So that way we can get up there 19th in the morning, we leave 18th at night, and do it.
Tashi and Nobu were serving dinner. Most dinners were incredibly enjoyable, and you always left the dining tent stuffed.
Garlic soup and pop it down.
When I did, I went to sleep, checking my SpO2. The next morning, I strolled up to the Chinese camp. They showed me through a telescope that several of their climbers were summiting. I ran back and tried to catch them on my camera. Here, there are 2 Chinese climbers that you can see coming down right from the summit, and then a bit later you can see 3 climbers atop the 3rd step. David gave us a quick overview of the masks, regulators, and oxygen tank system. We tested the oxygen.
That 4 is nice, huh? You can really feel it coming through.
It was glorious.
So tomorrow we make our big move from ABC to Camp 1. So just chilling today. Should be good, and then Camp 1 to Camp 2 will be on oxygen. Camp 1 to Camp 2 is going to be a big day. So we're at like the highest part on Camp 2. Here we go. Next 4 days. What's the plan today?
Plan today, get to the North Col.
That's it, and that's all.
Without incident.
Line of attack is nice and slow and easy. It's going to be hot and even hotter on the slope going up to Camp 1. So going to take it easy, going to take this off, going to look at the enjoyable scenery and possibly the bum of anyone who's in front of me.
We said goodbye to the kitchen boys, and we were on our way.
We were coming up on Metallic Alley, one of my favorite parts of the walk from Advanced Base Camp. How shiny that is. Advanced Base Camp to Crampon Point.
With the fresh snow, there was more danger of falling in a crevasse, but the big ones were still marked and easy to see.
It's kind of nice, there's been some snow over the last couple days, so the final push to Crampon Point is all snow path. And we don't have to worry about tripping over rocks. Can relax, enjoy the view a little bit more. Yeah. Nice walk this morning, Dom?
That was beautiful.
Yeah. Really nice.
Silence, nobody around. Absolutely gorgeous.
David, Franz, and Martin were pulling up the back. Martin, a very experienced mountaineer, got his gear on quickly and decided to head up with me.
We're coming up to the wall. It's so hot. It feels like you're in a desert. The solar radiation bouncing off the snow. Whew.
The North Col. Beautiful, steep, dangerous. And today, hot. The heat was zapping us, but we had done this before and all knew what it would take. Slow movement, lots of water, and suntan lotion.
How you doing?
Fine, it's only warm.
Nice.
Silence is great.
Yep. Making our way up North Col. Nice and easy.
The fixed lines on Everest are not endless. In fact, they're about 50 meters long. At the end of those 50 meters, you must change over to a new rope. It seems like a simple task. You unclip your carabiner from the old rope and clip it to the new rope. Then you unclip your Jumar from the old rope and clip it to the new rope. However, digging your crampons into the snow, positioning your ice axe, bending over, and going through those motions wears on you.
What happened to friends?
So there's some barrels down at Crampon Point, and it is traditional that people put both their crampons and their harnesses in there so they don't have to carry it up and down from ABC.
We are a little over halfway up the North Col.
Way above halfway, aren't we?
2/3.
Yeah, way above.
I'm trying to do it in my head so that I think I have a longer way to go. You guys just blew it for me.
Sorry about that.
We're just barely over halfway.
Just
We've only
barely.
started.
Just started the North Col.
We just left ABC.
Feeling pretty good, and it was hot this morning, which zaps a lot of your energy. But slowly, we'll get going up here and do some deep breathing, some Wim Hof.
As we got going again, there was two-way traffic on the safety ropes. Some descending climbers were too tired to clip in at all.
Good.
You good?
Yeah, good.
Summit?
Lost for me. My bad. My bad.
No way. Saved your life. You owe me one. You owe me a beer.
Other climbers were delirious. From the combination of lack of oxygen and exhaustion, they were on a short tether to one or two Sherpas. This is called being short-roped, as demonstrated by the person in red.
Lots of action going on here. People passing, short roping people, summiters coming down, non-summiters coming down. Douchebag with the camera just talking over the whole thing. Huge amount of people. They're coming down or going up. Big snow slope there. And we've got this final slope right here for us to get up to Camp 1.
Towards that last steep pitch, you have to be careful not to pull on the rope in a way that will send your teammate flying off. In this situation, if I was to continue, I would be pulling Grant off of the North Col.
You did it.
I was finally really enjoying the climb. Being healthy, fit, and full of energy, I was pumped. I could tell Patrick was feeling rough.
Hey, buddy. You got it.
Again, the loads the Sherpas were hauling were impressive.
We were just coming up to Camp 1. Last time our camp was on the far side. See where it is this time. Supposedly they moved it to a better place. Hey, take it out of you. But again, gorgeous view. Crazy day.
It's a very hot day to come up to the North Col. Makes it really exhausting. Really, really exhausting. I've never been up in that sort of heat before.
Except the first time.
Except the first.
That's true. That looks awesome behind you. That looks crazy. Alright. Let's do this.
Like a game of 52 card pickup, Sherpas and climbers who had come down from higher were sprawled out all over the camp. I, on the other hand, was annoyingly chipper in both English and Chinese.
下来，你们去顶峰吗？ Yeah. 我们刚到了。
Patrick was so beat that he gave himself a timeout. After all those times chasing him up the Rongbuk Valley, straining to keep up with him, doubting my own strength and fortitude, it was welcoming to finally see him show that he was human. Being the good climbing partner, as he had done for me in the past, I made sure I did the majority of the housekeeping. I know how much it helps.
You get here, you've got to start boiling water. Both so thirsty and hot. We have no water, so boil time. Oh yeah.
Unlike the last time, when our vestibule and our boots were filled with snow, I wanted to make this a solid foyer.
I'm gonna go get a tent bag and fill it with snow. Yeah, like you're set up in the front of the tent.
Yeah, we got the vestibule going.
We got ours in the middle. It's pretty hot. Good trip today?
Yeah, it was good. Except that it was so hot. Yeah. But it was okay. Hope to stay strong for tomorrow.
Lots of people coming down after summit. They look pretty tired.
Wasted days and wasted nights. Oof. Some dirty dogs.
Oof. It's hard. Boiling snow when you're tired.
Jangbu and several Sherpas had just arrived from setting up Camp 2, and some of them came back from stashing oxygen bottles above Camp 3. We were not that tough.
The dream. Everything's set up. Everything's looking good. Hello. And now time to get in the tent. Nice sunburn today. Oof. Yeah, nice. Shrimp's doing good?
Rampart 1, we've got a 1055 on the corner of Elm and...
Alright, so to boil snow at Camp 1, what we're doing is we've got a big garbage bag, thanks to John. A deal. You get big chunks like this. You put that in here. And then it boils. So you do that about 1 billion times and you fill up all your water bottles and your soups. And it's amazing soup I have here. Oh my goodness.
I was able to get my SpO2 up to 75, but my heart rate was still high.
Yeah, it's the morning, Camp 1, and our tent, the inside of it is just covered in frost, which is now dripping. We're trying to get organized for today, but we got this boiling in the middle. It's a mess. It's a mess. Patrick had a good sleep last night. Yeah. Just getting ready at Camp 1. Make our way up snow ramp. Up almost to the yellow band today.
For the majority of us, this was the first time we were climbing with oxygen. David gave us a reminder of what to do if the exit valves froze, as they often do.
Yeah, one hard blow, and it'll generally free up that valve.
We decided to make sure everyone was set and their oxygen was flowing before we took off. Looking up at the snow slope and around at your teammates, you can't help but be a bit apprehensive about what lies ahead. One thing was for sure. En passant, even with that pack on, could run circles around any of us. We started up the snow slope. Dom, in the yellow suit, was in front of me. Little did I know, but the pace that he set and his attitude that day would be helping me just as much as the supplemental oxygen. The snow slope was much steeper, longer, and more exposed than it appeared from Camp 1. It seemed as if there was no good place to stop. The steep angle of the snow slope never let up. There was no place to just sit and relax.
Here we are.
How's it going?
Going very well. Chilling out.
I finally found a spot that was relatively flat. We decided to take a break.
Taking 5.
Sure.
3.5 liters feels fine.
Yeah.
Wouldn't mind another half.
Yeah. Another half liter would be good, but it's not bad.
Our oxygen bottles were set to deliver us a dose of half a liter a minute. We had control of this and were trusted not to run out before we made it to our tents.
Made it to the top of the snowfield. Whew. It's a long snowfield.
There's a long snowfield.
How you doing?
It looks a lot shorter from down there. Glad we only have to do it once.
Yeah, right. Coming up to Texas Camp 2. Storm Rose.
No snow on these rocks was a telltale sign that this wind was persistent. Dom, in the yellow suit, who had been in front of me all day, continued his outward positive attitude, which at this point was a challenge. We had just got to the beginning of Camp 2, and the rumor was we had another hour or so to go before reaching our tents.
Oh man, that was really hard. Our tent is in this crazy position.
Sunset over Changsi and Cho'oyu, the 5th highest mountain in the world. Then we called it a night.
Good morning from Camp 2. We are way up here. We're down to visit some people. I have to make it back up to my tent, which doesn't look far, and it's not. But up there, without oxygen, 7,700 meters. It's not easy. See, ABC down there. Holy moly. Camp 1.
I decided to make the early morning rounds and see how everyone was doing.
How's sleep last night, Dom? Good? Good moving yesterday. You in front of me kept me going. Yeah, you did awesome. Nice.
I slept until like 5 a.m.
Awesome. Beautiful, huh? Look how far down Camp 1 is. Crazy.
No wonder it felt like a long time.
That's fucking hard. Yeah, shoes on is tough.
Camp 2 was packing up. David greeted us with his tagline that we had all become very fond of.
Good morning, campers.
Yesterday, we were down there.
All right, we are leaving Camp 2 for Camp 3. It's about 10 in the morning, gorgeous day, unbelievable. How you feeling? Awesome. Can't beat today. Absolutely gorgeous.
Straight out of Camp 2, it was steep. We took it slow as we adjusted our gear and could see the summit just out of reach. I didn't notice at the time, but I caught a couple of climbers coming down from the summit just above the 3rd step.
Guys, we're taking a little break here, grouping everybody together. Everybody's feeling good. We got amazing weather. Taking it nice and slow. Hold on, the leader's gonna talk. This is quite high, and the view is very good.
David was right. The views were worth the price of admission already. We could even see all the way to intermediate camp and the pinnacles. Each year, the Chinese-Tibetan mountaineering team fixes all the ropes to the mountain. However, they don't take any down. Years of ropes become crumpled heaps. Some have even become single strands that stick like a spider's web to your suit, backpack, and crampons. Other times, you just don't know which rope to choose. Patrick and I were cruising along. We pulled ahead of the group for a bit and then had to stop as Chinese base camp came into view. We could even make out our little black Tibetan tea house.
We just came around the corner and Everest decided to bring the pain. Look at this slope.
Don't want to alarm you. That's 8,000 meters right here.
We had officially entered the death zone, the area where humans cannot survive long without oxygen, and where most of the deaths on Everest have occurred.
Pro tip, when you see the tents, don't think, oh, we're there. It's usually like another hour, and then you get there and your tent's like 50 times higher than anybody else's.
Camp 3 was coming up over the ridge. Camp 1 looked as if we tripped we would land there, and the summit only a stone's throw away. Because of the supplemental oxygen, my head was as clear as the dark blue skies above me, and I was feeling great. I remember thinking that this was one of the absolute best hiking days I have ever had in my life. And if the summit night is anything like this, it's going to be a blast.
We made it to Camp 3. This place is a mess. Looks like a tornado came through here, which probably happens every night. And stuff's all beat up.
High above the clouds, at 8,300 meters, Camp 3 is the highest camp in the world. With a slope of about 15 degrees.
Looking about 74, 105, just got to Camp 3. Not doing any breathing tonight, Wim Hof wise, because we're summiting, so I'm just going to keep oxygen flowing at 2 right now. However, I do think the Wim Hof showers and breathing over the last 9 months definitely helped. As far as not getting sick at all, there's a couple times I thought I was going to get sick. I thought I had a cough. I thought I had a cold, but nope. And just the whole breathing mindset actually really helped.
So, at Camp 3, both feeling awesome. Headed to the summit tonight. If it's anything like today, we're both stoked. Stoked.
And we're trying to figure out how we can drink and be on oxygen at the same time.
That was the goal. Drink, rest, relax. You should sleep if you can, but we were both way too excited. We listened to music, enjoyed the views, and ate.
Got some noodle soup.
Oh yeah. Super thick. I just saw Jungbu eating soup out of this.
David, Jongbu, and all of the other Sherpas were busy boiling water, checking oxygen bottles, and coordinating everyone for the night's climb. Late that afternoon, Patrick and I got news that we would start our summit bid at 11 p.m. We were also informed that according to new Chinese law, we had been assigned a Sherpa so that we wouldn't defect into Nepal. It was Gelje, the first Sherpa I met a month ago. Gelje was strong, focused, and we knew he would set a fast pace. The sun was going down over Cho-Oyu and setting on the summit. Soon it would be dark, and our summit night would begin.